The 10th race of the Embrace Racing Series will be at Watkins Glen International for the 5 Gum at the Glen. The AAA Pole Award goes to Tyler DEEFER in the number 20. Our Livonia winner will start alongside Josh Mertz in the 8. Jonathan Ringer starts 3rd, Ricardo Blanco starts 4th, and Jared Cash starts in the 5th position. Starting 6th is Casey Lester in the number 87. This is his hometown racetrack, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does here at the Glen. Definitely going to want to put a show on for the hometown crowd. Tyler DEEFER extending his lead through the S's. Jonathan Ringer is going to slot into 2nd, and Josh Mertz 3rd. Here's our point leader, Mac DeCario, entering the bus stop. Mac DeCario having a very consistent season, much like last year, and he continues to impress as he's running in the top 15, obviously, in that number 96. Be interesting to see how he does the rest of the way as we are at the halfway point of the 2015 season. Mac not really known for his road course skills, so we'll see how he fares the rest of the way in that McDonald's Buick. Not looking too bad so far, though. Here's Ricardo Blanco in the number 08, won last week at Miami. Currently up front in the 4th position. Great surge of confidence for Ricardo, who has been just down and out in this series so far in his career. He is definitely improving, and it's great to see the double of the 08 car in the top 5 consistently nowadays. Here's Jalen Scranton. Not feeling too well this week after his wreck at Miami. Jordan Tipson qualified that car, and therefore the 26 had to go to the back, along with Alan Reeds in the 19, who actually blew an engine in qualifying, but he would be given a pass for that and was allowed to qualify for the race, but obviously had to go to the rear. David Lee Bibson and Casey Lester had an altercation after the Miami race, after Bibson merged up into Lester in the late stages of the Miami race. Bibson definitely was not too happy with himself there, but Casey Lester was even more mad at Bibson, charged after his crew, and the crew stopped him from doing anything to Bibson, but Bibson definitely not making a lot of friends out there. Bibson was a lap car in that race, so you can see why Casey Lester would be mad. Tyler DEEFER is out to a pretty healthy lead over Jonathan Ringer as he continues to go around this Watkins Glen International, and he really is known for his road course racing. He hasn't really won here at road courses as Mac DeCario gets a little sideways, and the 96 will continue on. No harm, no foul for the 96 as we're looking at Ike Durbin in the 55, who gets into Casey Anderson hard into the wall, and a huge wreck on lap 3 brings the red flag out immediately. The 92 of Casey Anderson and the 55 of Ike Durbin. Unbelievable wreck. Ike Durbin. Again, Ike Durbin. It's pretty unbelievable to see how many bad wrecks like this that Ike Durbin gets into. He's gotten to one at Livonia in the qualifying race. He had that wild flip at Miami in the AAPT last season, and now this. Casey Anderson was involved in a very hard hit at Miami last week, and this one I think was even harder as we go on board Ross Lowry, who makes great wreck avoidance here, getting around the 92. A very hard hit. Let's go on board Anderson here as they both just slam into that pit wall. I gotta wonder if they're okay. No word on the medical conditions of each of these drivers on board. Like Durbin, as he slams into the worst possible spot you could probably hit on this racetrack. Comes to a complete stop. Very unfortunate wreck. And yeah, that's pretty scary. On the restart though, Tyler DEEFER gets a pretty healthy lead after Mertz goes for 2nd on Ringer. Ringer gets a little sideways in the bus stop, goes through the grass, and will get challenged by Casey Lester here for the 3rd position. Ringer holding on though. Ringer hasn't had too good of a year aside from the beginning, and Ringer definitely looking to get back on track. Someone that's not up front, who's usually up front at these road courses, is Mike Oppenheimer in the 99. He started in 21st. He's currently running around that area as we saw Justin Pisani dip into the pits. But Mike Oppenheimer, definitely not characteristic of him to be running back there at a road course. Justin Pisani in for an unscheduled stop, unsure what for. Here's Jerry Richardson getting turned hard into the wall, and Keith Davis goes upside down, hit hard by Scranton and Lowry. And another very hard incident on lap number 9 brings out the caution, as Lowry and Scranton got in there as well. Looking at Keith Davis now upside down, hit hard by Scranton. That's got to hurt him even more, as he had a back injury after his nasty wreck at Miami last week. As we take another look at this one, Some scary wrecks here at the Glen. We've seen some of these in the AAPT over the last couple of years, and now we're getting them in the AARS. On board Ross Lowry once again. He can't avoid this one as there's the 26, and then he slams into the guardrail. Very hard hits for all of these drivers. Gotta wonder if they're okay. No medical conditions on these drivers either. And still waiting for word on Ike Durbin and Casey Anderson. And now we add some more names to that list after our lap 9 incident. On lap number 12, we'd have our restart. Josh Mertz looking to the inside of DEEFER, looking to make the first lead change of the race. Can't quite get it done. And Mertz definitely really excels at road courses. We saw him win at McKinley earlier this year, which is a short track, but Mertz is always a threat to win at these road courses. Not surprising to see him in second, contending for the win. Here's someone the complete opposite of Mertz, who's usually not good at road courses and is usually a pretty quiet driver on the racetrack. Don't really notice him too much. Tommy Richer, who is currently sitting in the 4th position in his number 2. Teammates to DEEFER. You see Renesee Racing 1, 4, and 6 right now, and I believe Cody Lochner's in 10th. So a great run so far for Renesee Racing as we see another battle for the lead as here comes Josh Mertz. But definitely surprising to see Richer up in the top 5 here at the Glen. Going to that battle for the lead, here's Josh Mertz underneath the 20. Looks like maybe he can get it done through the S's here. Can he do it? It looks like he does, and there, wow, DEEFER just powers off the corner. DEEFER's car definitely hooked in right now as the 20 car continues to be the fastest car on the racetrack, and he's just holding off all these guys. I don't think Mertz going to be able to pass him through the bus stop. No, it looks like Ringer's actually going to take Mertz's spot here. No, Mertz battles back pretty well, and the 8 car is going to keep second and likely push Ringer out to 4th as Tommy Richer is underneath the Chase Bank Dodge now. Grant Jacobs came in for an unscheduled stop. Jacobs pretty irrelevant in this race to this point, and it's just been the story for Jacobs all year. Sad to see for the 40 team. Jonathan Ringer and Josh Mertz both go way off, allowing Tommy Richer to make a power move to the outside, and this is going to allow DEEFER to pull away even more as we have a 3-car battle for second, and it looks like Richer's not even going to get a spot after that. And definitely fortunate for Ringer and Mertz that they did not lose the cars there. We've seen a couple cars hit the inside guardrail there in practice. Here's Alan Reeds in the 19. This is way back in the pack as we have another caution as Walter Pisani and Reeds go hard into the outside barrier. And we're going to have to get another look at this. I don't know exactly what happened. It looks like they all just ran out of space. And that's some very hard hits into that outside barrier there, that tire wall. All 3 would obviously retire. Once again, another very hard accident. Don't know medical conditions on any of these drivers either. But we do know that all 3 of them did walk out on their own power. That's a good thing to see as we see the Netflix Chevy go hard into that barrier. Take a look from the helicopter cam. It just looks like they all just run out of space. Pisani may have got into Walter a bit there, but some very hard hits, and definitely not the part of the racetrack you want to wreck at. I mean, it's better than where Ike Durbin wrecked, but not a part of the track that you want to be slamming into the wall. That's one of the faster parts of the track. Tyler DEEFER gets out in front of everybody in the round of pit stops we'll have, and he leads, I believe Tommy Richer is in 3rd. Mertz probably crossed the line before Richer, and will stay in 2nd. On the restart, Richer passes Mertz and would go into 2nd. Looks like Ricardo Blanco and Jonathan Ringer, the 2 teammates, battling for 4th there as we head into the bus stop once again. Everybody looks tame this restart. It's a first, and they go through there pretty flawlessly. Mertz gets into the grass a little bit. Championship leader Mac DiCario is in the pits the following lap. Unsure what for, but this was definitely unscheduled stop. Came in under that caution, obviously, so there must be something wrong with the 96, maybe serving a penalty. Nate Smith in the 83 has been working his way through the field the last couple of laps, and he's definitely been the car that's moved up the most positions, as that 83 car just looks great right now, trying to go underneath Sean Glossum for the 8th position. But that same lap, the 83 is going to go a little too close to that wall, maybe have touched it, and he's going to allow Lochner to get around him in that 34 car. So tough break for Smith there. Loses all his momentum, but I'm sure he can get it back. Smith has been a fantastic driver in his AARS career so far. Obviously should have or could have won the championship last year. 38 of Nick Black gets turned by point contender Todd Bradshaw into the wall. Not that hard of a hit for once. On lap 23, we'd have our fourth caution of the race. A couple of other cars are around up there. As we get another view of this one, Bradshaw just hooks the 38, and I believe Black would retire from this one. And it looks like Baltano and Kinsen were the other two involved as they go around. Just looks like Bradshaw forced it 3 wide. Black goes into the wall very hard. I know Bradshaw would continue. Don't know about Black, though. I believe he would. Looking at Bethany Baltano, it looks like Mario Lancer, the 27, got hit a little bit into Baltano, and then Todd Kinsen just gets swept up in this one as well. Those guys would obviously continue on. Not much damage to their cars, and nothing doing there. Tyler DEEFER leads on the restart. What a surprise. He has his teammate Tommy Richer looking to the inside into turn number 1. A great passing opportunity for Richer. Can he make it stick? We've seen Mertz get underneath the 20 earlier in this one, but he cannot do it as well as the 2-car backs off in the SS. Here's Kenny Gerald's just announced that he is officially retiring after the 2015 season, currently in the top 30 in points. After the last couple of years he's had, this has been a great rebound season for him and a great last season, and I'm sure he hopes to bring some good finishes to his wonderful 14 fans throughout the last half of this season. Definitely sad news to see that Gerald is retiring. On lap 29, we have a big crash as Greg Sauer went flying in the air after getting hooked by David Lee Bibson. 3 wide does not work at this racetrack. We've seen so many instances where they keep trying it and it just never works. Zach McRae in the 5 involved as well. Bibson got a lot of damage, and obviously Greg Sauer just went soaring through the air in that Starbucks Toyota, comes to rest on all fours, and would retire from the race. Tough break for those 3, but you can't force the issue, especially in the bus stop. On the restart, once again, it is Tyler DEEFER leading. He's led every lap to this point. Hasn't happened this year where someone's led every single lap, but it's happened in recent years. So we'll see if DEEFER can be the next in line to do it. Here's Carson Crompton having a nice run in the 84. Figured we'd mention him as he's been pretty quiet, sitting in the top 10 this entire race. Sean Glossum is up there as well. Glossum started 12th and is currently up battling with Crompton in 7th. DEEFER continues to pull away. It looks like his teammate Tommy Richer has just decided to stay behind the 20 for now. No need to force the issue, no need to wreck there. We got a massive battle for 3rd between Blanco, Mertz, Ringer, and Crompton. What a battle this is. 3 wide, and I saw 4 wide for a minute there as they enter the bus stop. Looks like Blanco's going to hold on to 3rd, but Mertz, Ringer, and Crompton still furiously battling for the 4th position. Great racing here at the Glen. Herb Cilantro is going to get a little bit out of line, and he's going to hit the inside guardrail right in front of Jimmy Cohon and go upside down. And Herb Cilantro's miserable season just continues. This one can't really say it was anyone but his fault. And that's just an error on his part. A driver error puts the 42 out once again. That's his 6th DNF in 10 races. The former champion not looking too good this season. Just barely locked in as we go on board Cohon, who's going to need to change of pants here. So get a slow motion view there. That's as close as it gets. Cohon very lucky that he was not involved in that one. That could have been even bigger than it was. So the 36 continues with no damage as Herb Cilantro goes flipping in the background. Lap 38, Tyler DEEFER still leading. He's got his teammates still behind him, and Ricardo Blanco still 3rd. The top 5 has mostly stayed intact for the entirety of this race. As we go back to Carson Crompton, who's been a staple in the top 10 in this one, as he hits the wall, does much like Cilantro does, but doesn't go flipping. And on lap 41, this would not bring out the yellow, but that is heartbreaking for Carson Crompton. From 6th all the way back to 25th after that, and that'll probably do it for him. That car is way too damaged to get back up there. Tough break for Carson Crompton, who's having another excellent year, but this will definitely take a hit in points for the 84 team. Lap 42, Tommy Richards to the inside of Tyler DEEFER, and that's not going to work as that right-hand, left-hand segment just does not work if you want to pass. You can't really judge where or what speeds everyone's going to be going in there, and your line likely won't be holding on for long. Brian Hensler's going to get turned by Kent Grosso, and he's going to go into the wall on lap 43. I'm hearing this was payback for an earlier incident where Hensler got into Grosso, and Grosso must have just had enough. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any footage of that. Here's Casey Lester racing back to the line, and oh man, that is just another driver error here at the Glen. Casey Lester, that's the one mistake he's made all race. He'd fallen back to 10th, but his nightmare of a season just continues. Taken out late in the race once again. That's been the story of Casey Lester's 2015 season. Running decently and then gets taken out at the end, either by himself or, as in case of the last race, a lap car. On the restart, it is once again DEEFER leading, but you already knew that. Lap 46, we'd have another yellow as Jeff Parshall is going to go into the wall and take out Carson Crompton. Those two go into the tire barriers. Crompton's race just went completely downhill. DeCario got into Parshall there. Don't know exactly what happened, but both of these guys would retire. Once again, just a very heartbreaking day for Carson Crompton, who probably had a car that could contend for the win. Or at least get a top 5. But Parshall he's had it even worse than most of these guys in this series. Has not finished above the 28th position all year. Tyler DEEFER leads on the restart with 2 laps to go. Can anybody pass them? This is probably their last couple opportunities here. Looks like Tommy Richard's underneath Blanco for second. Richard's going to take that spot very easily. Surprising that they can't do that to Tyler DEEFER. But here comes DEEFER to take the white flag. He's led 50 of 50 so far. He has 1 more to go. Tyler DEEFER looking to become another one of those drivers who just completely dominates a race, leads every single lap. And this Watkins Glen is one of those tracks where you'd probably expect that. Tyler DEEFER's just had the best car, and it's not even close. Obviously, that's why he is in the front, as he has his teammate behind him. Ricardo Blanco 3rd. Josh Mertz 4th, and Nate Smith has worked his way up to 5th. So CS Motorsports, if Crompton didn't wreck there, they would have had an even better day. Looks like Richard got up to the back bumper of the 20, and now Richard goes off. That probably does it for any battle for the lead. Tyler DEEFER can basically just coast from here. I haven't seen many errors happen around these last couple of corners. Tyler DEEFER's been completely error-free this entire race, though. It won't matter. Tyler DEEFER is going to win this race. Probably the most flawless race you could drive here at the Glen. Tyler DEEFER is going to get his 2nd career win, his 2nd of the season, as he comes across the line to win the 5 Gum at the Glen. Congratulations to the 20 team and Tyler DEEFER. And he does burnouts in turn number 1. A very dominating performance, and great way to cap it off for the 20 team. So DEEFER wins his 2nd career race, 2nd of the season. The 20 team has been on par this entire year. They've led the most laps by far now, as they lead 50 of 50 on the day. Tommy Richard, the Renaissance Racing teammate of Tyler DEEFER, is going to finish 2nd. Ricardo Blanco follows up his win at Miami with a 3rd place finish. Josh Mertz finishes a solid 4th. Nate Smith finishes 5th in the number 83. Sean Glossum finishes 6th. He's been on track the past couple of races. Jonathan Ringer finishes 7th. Great run for him. Cody Lochner was very quiet, finishes 8th. Jimmy Cohone was also very quiet in 9th. And Michael Carter started 28th, and he's going to finish 10th. That's his 6th straight top 10 finish, which is definitely going to help him in the point standings. I believe he moves up to 2nd, but Michael Carter, very quiet run from him actually as well, but just a fantastic performance this year from that team, and they definitely have everything together so far, making that championship run. So Mac DeCario currently leads the point standings by 27 over Michael Carter, who moves up to 2nd. Sean Glossum is 3rd, 29 points back. Todd Bradshaw falls back to 4th. Tough break for him, getting involved in that early accident. Alex Yates is 5th. Tyler DEEFER moves up 2 spots to 6th. Mike Oppenheimer is 7th. Don't know where he finished, although I believe he got into the wall. Jonathan Ringer moves up 3 spots to 8th. That 7th place run definitely helped him. He's slowly creeping up the standings. Jimmy Cohone is 9th, and Ricardo Blanco has snuck into the top 10. So definitely some interesting storylines developing here as we enter the second half of the 2015 season. Mac DeCario currently leading our championship standings, looking for his second championship in a row. Next week, we head to Canaan Valley in that Canaan Valley Speed Park. Unsure what the race title will be yet, but should be a thriller of a race. We had a fantastic inaugural race there last year, so stay tuned. There is a lot more AARO Racing Series action coming your way.